everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah.
You know we love to go deep, and today we're diving into the world of Abraham Hicks and Daryl Anka.
Oh, yes?
Looking specifically at their insights on fear and excitement and how that plays into, manifesting your desires.
Right.
We're going to be looking at a YouTube video, and in this video, it features Abraham channeled through Esther Hicks and Daryl Anka channeling Bashar.
That's right.
So we've got both of them in one place.
2 for 1.
And
It's a good one.
it's a really good one. And the thing that I think is so powerful about this particular video
Okay.
is that it really highlights how much understanding your fears can actually help you to unlock your ability to manifest. And the example that they use in the video is this woman who is hesitant about moving to Seattle for a relationship. And I think a lot of us can relate to that on some level.
Right.
Have you ever felt that kind of pull towards something exciting, but then felt held back by fear?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's an incredibly common human experience.
Right.
And, this video does a beautiful job of kind of dissecting that a little bit.
Yeah. And what I thought was really interesting is how Abraham really highlights that holding back from something that you're excited about is actually rooted in fear.
Right.
So it's not just about missing out on something. It's actually about fear being like a block.
Yeah, fear becomes like a resistance
Yeah.
to our natural flow towards, joy and fulfillment.
Yeah.
Like a dam that's holding back a river.
Right.
And they use that example, of this woman
Mm-hmm.
and her fear of rejection in this potential Seattle relationship.
Exactly. She's excited about this new connection, but terrified to actually take the leap.
Right.
And then Bashar comes in with this incredibly funny yet super insightful point
Right.
where he's like, well, she's afraid of being rejected, but she's already rejecting herself by not going for it.
It's so true. And I think that's such a beautiful illustration of how, the rejection that we perceive from others often is just a mirror of our own self-rejection.
Yeah.
You know?
Whoa.
And it begs the question, is it possible that by not pursuing what excites us, that we're actually just reinforcing those fears
Totally.
that we already have about not being good enough?
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
If you're already afraid of being rejected and then you don't go for the thing,
Right.
then you're basically just proving to yourself, see, I was right to be afraid.
Exactly. And then that becomes your reality.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so then how do we move past that? How do we move past that self-rejection and tap into that natural flow towards joy and fulfillment that you were talking about?
Well, Abraham introduces this concept that they call going general,
Okay.
which is about vibrational preparation.
Interesting.
So think about it like this, when we get really fixated on the specifics of what we want. So in this woman's case, it's like, okay, moving to Seattle, being with this specific person,
Yeah.
it can actually create overthinking and energetic blockages.
Okay, so it's like we get so caught up in the how
Yes,
that we forget about the what.
exactly. And so what Abraham suggests is that instead of focusing on the specifics of moving to Seattle and being with this particular person, she should focus on the feeling of the relationship that she desires.
Okay, so let's say that she really desires a relationship that's full of ease and comfort and deep connection.
Right.
That's where she should be putting her attention.
That's where she should be putting her attention, not on, the logistics of how it's going to happen,
Okay.
but the feeling.
And that's what going general is.
That's exactly it. Cultivating those core desired feelings within ourselves so we actually become a vibrational match
Oh, I see.
to what we want to attract.
So it's like setting the vibe,
Yes,
setting your emotional GPS.
exactly.
Okay, so it's not just about ignoring your problems or pretending everything is perfect.
No, it's not about toxic positivity.
Right.
It's about recognizing that, there might be challenges,
Yeah.
but even amidst those challenges, you can still choose to focus on the feelings you want to experience.
So it's like creating a mood board for your desires.
I love that.
But instead of pictures, you're listing the feelings.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I love that.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got go in general, and then Abraham brings up this other really interesting concept, which is called grid work.
Yes.
So what is grid work?
Grid work is the process of consciously aligning our vibration with our desires.
Okay.
So in the video, the woman, she creates a grid by listing all the emotions that she wants to experience in her ideal relationship.
So things like ease and comfort and security and deep connection.
Exactly. All of those things.
So she's kind of setting the energetic foundation
Yes.
for this desire to manifest.
Yes. And, the way I like to think about it is it's like planting seeds in a garden.
Okay.
You're creating the ideal conditions for those seeds, those
Ah.
desires to sprout and grow.
Yeah.
And so by focusing on those feelings that she wants to experience, she's allowing the universe to orchestrate the details without her having to force it or control it.
So she's not like obsessing over how she's going to meet someone or the specifics of the relationship.
Yeah.
It's just about like, I want to feel this way.
Yes.
And trusting that somehow it's going to come together.
Trusting that the universe will bring those details into alignment once her vibration is a match.
Okay, I like that.
Think of it as like surrendering to a universal GPS system.
Okay.
You put in your destination.
Yeah.
But you don't need to micromanage every turn along the way.
You don't have to like, get out and like move traffic cones.
Exactly. You just trust that the GPS is going to get you there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And it seems like trust is a really big theme here.
Absolutely. And so Abraham emphasizes that, once we've done that grid work,
Yeah.
we need to trust that the universe is working in our favor.
Okay. But how do you do that when you don't see the evidence right away?
That's the tricky part.
Because, our human brains are always looking for that external validation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I need to see it to believe it.
We want proof.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is saying like, no, you got to trust it before you see it.
You got to trust it before you see it. And the real magic happens when we shift our focus inward.
Oh, okay. Hmm?
Think about it. Haven't you ever noticed that when you're feeling good, good things just seem to happen?
Yeah.
That's evidence of alignment.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
The more you trust that process, the more those positive synchronicities will appear in your life.
Okay, so it's kind of like when you lose something
Yes.
and you're like looking everywhere for it, you can't find it.
You tear your house apart.
You tear your house
You
apart.
turn everything upside down.
And then finally you're just like, ugh, I give up.
And then it appears.
And then it appears.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that desperate need for control is actually what's preventing the solution from presenting itself.
Wow. Okay. I like that.
And this idea of evidence and trust isn't just about manifesting a new job or a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It applies to all areas of our lives.
Yeah.
From our health to our finances to our relationships.
So it's really about, recognizing those little wins along the way.
Yeah.
Those moments of synchronicity that are like, oh, okay, I'm on the right path.
Yes. Celebrate those small victories.
Yeah.
And trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor. And have faith that everything is unfolding as it should.
So interesting. We've covered so much already. We've got fear as resistance, reframing rejection, going general grid work.
It's a lot
It's a lot.
to digest.
It is a lot to digest.
Yeah, but it all boils down to this,
Yeah.
recognizing that we have the power to shift our vibration and align with our desires.
Mm-hmm.
It's about letting go of fear,
Mm-hmm.
allowing the universe to work its magic,
Yeah.
recognizing those seemingly insignificant moments of joy as signposts.
Wow.
That might be pointing us in the right direction.
Mm. Oh, that's so good, because I think we often dismiss those little sparks of joy as being insignificant
Right.
when they might actually be huge.
They might be huge.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of this work.
Okay.
It's about paying attention to the subtle nuances,
Yeah.
the whispers of the universe,
Mm-hmm.
and trusting that we're always being guided towards our highest good.
So good. Instead of getting caught up in the fear and the how
Yeah.
we can choose to focus on the feeling of
Yeah.
what we want
Yes.
and trust that the universe is going to handle the details.
It's a complete paradigm shift, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's precisely what Abraham and Bashar are inviting us to do, is to step out of that limited thinking
Mm-hmm.
and embrace this reality where anything is possible.
It's mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing.
I'm already like, whoa.
Yeah.
What would happen if we all started living like this, trusting in the process and allowing ourselves to be guided by our desires?
That is a question worth pondering.
It really is. And that it also makes me think about my own fears and how they might be holding me back from what I truly desire.
Right.
I bet our listeners are feeling that too.
Absolutely. I think it's a universal experience.
Yeah.
Recognizing those fears is often the first step towards breaking free from them.
And what's really resonating with me is that our work isn't about forcing things to happen.
Right.
It's about cultivating the right feeling within ourselves.
It's a subtle but profound shift in perspective,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Instead of striving and struggling, we're invited to simply be and allow.
Yeah.
Not try to control every detail, but trust that the universe has a much grander plan for us.
Okay, that resonates so much because I feel like we've been conditioned to believe that achieving our dreams requires constant effort and struggle.
Right, this idea that we have to hustle and grind and push and
Yeah.
force. But what if we could release that struggle
Yeah.
and embrace a more effortless approach?
That's where the real magic lies.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's about aligning with that natural flow of the universe,
Yeah.
trusting in its infinite wisdom, and allowing ourselves to be guided toward our highest good.
Okay, this is blowing my mind.
That's the beauty of these teachings.
Yeah.
They challenge our conventional thinking
Yeah.
and open us up to this whole new world of possibilities.
So if we're feeling stuck or unfulfilled, it might be a sign that we need to examine our beliefs
Right.
and make some shifts
Yeah.
in our thinking.
Exactly. And the grid work exercise is a fantastic tool for doing that.
Oh, okay.
By identifying those emotions we want to experience,
Yeah.
we're essentially setting our intentions and aligning our energy with our desires.
It's like creating a roadmap for the universe to follow,
I love that.
like this vibrational blueprint
Beautiful.
that guides us toward the fulfillment of our dreams.
Yes.
And what I also love about this is that it's not about forcing
Right.
or manipulating outcome.
Right. It's about allowing
Yeah.
and surrendering
Yeah.
to that bigger picture.
And trusting that the universe is going to orchestrate the details
Yes.
in perfect timing and alignment.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's surrendering the how
Yeah.
and focusing on the what and the why.
Oh, so good.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's really been sticking with me from this video is this idea of allowing things to unfold.
Yeah.
It's something that keeps coming up both with Abraham and Bashar.
It really does. And it seems so counterintuitive to everything we've been taught about, success and achievement.
Right.
We're so used to striving and pushing and making things happen.
It's like ingrained in our culture.
Yeah.
Like hustle harder.
Yeah, hustle and grind.
Right.
What if there's a different way?
What if we could actually achieve even more
Okay.
by simply aligning with our desires
Yeah.
and letting the universe do the heavy lifting?
Okay, so how do we reconcile that with actually taking action in our lives?
That's a great question.
Because it feels like a delicate balance.
It is. It is a delicate dance.
Yeah.
And it's not about becoming passive
Right.
or just sitting back and waiting for things to magically fall into our laps.
Yeah.
It's more about aligning our actions with our desires,
Okay.
taking inspired action that feels good,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
flows naturally.
Okay, so being in the flow.
Yes.
But what does that actually look like in real life?
Right.
Can you give us an example?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's say someone is looking for a new job,
Okay.
but they're approaching it from a place of desperation and fear.
Mm.
They're constantly worried about bills.
Yeah.
They feel discouraged after each rejection.
Yeah.
Their energy is just heavy.
Oh, yeah. I think we've all been there at some point.
We have.
Sending out countless applications and just feeling like, ugh.
Exactly. And it's in those moments that we need to shift our focus.
Okay.
Instead of dwelling on what we don't have,
Yeah.
what if we started focusing on the feelings that we want to experience in our ideal job?
Okay.
Things like excitement,
Yeah.
purpose, creativity.
Yeah. Okay, so almost like we're already in that job,
Yes.
even if we haven't landed it yet.
Embodying the energy of what we desire.
Yeah.
And that can make a huge difference.
Okay.
We might start noticing new opportunities that weren't visible before.
Yeah.
Or we might find ourselves feeling more confident and inspired during interviews.
Yeah.
It's like our energy is shifting to become a magnet
Okay.
for what we want.
Okay, but what about those times when it feels like we're doing all the right things?
Right.
We're visualizing, we're setting intentions, we're taking action,
Uh-huh.
but things still don't seem to be working out.
That's when that trust piece becomes so crucial.
Yeah.
Remember what Abraham said about the evidence showing up?
Yeah.
Sometimes those signs are subtle.
Yeah.
It might be a chance encounter,
Mm.
a sudden burst of inspiration.
Yeah.
It might not be the grand gesture that we're expecting,
Yeah.
but it's the universe's way of saying, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Keep trusting.
Keep the faith. It's kind of like when you've lost something
Yes.
and you can't find it. And you
Right.
finally give up and then it appears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like letting go of that desperate need for control actually allows the solution to present itself.
I love that.
And this idea of evidence and trust isn't just about manifesting a new job or a relationship.
Right.
It applies to all areas of our lives,
Yeah.
from our health to our finances to our relationships.
So it's about recognizing those little wins along the way.
Absolutely.
Those little synchronicities that are like, oh, okay, I'm on the right path.
Yes. Celebrate those small victories.
Yeah.
Trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor,
Yeah.
and have faith that everything is unfolding as it should.
Okay, I love that. Wow, it's amazing how all of these concepts like weave together. You know, the
Yeah.
fear and the excitement and the letting go and the alignment. It's like a roadmap
It is.
to a more conscious and empowered life.
A more expansive life.
Yeah. And it really makes me wonder, like, what could happen if we all started to challenge those limitations, you
Yep.
know, expand our awareness and really step into the fullness of who we are?
What if instead of seeing limitations, we saw opportunities?
Yeah.
What if instead of getting caught up in the fear,
Mm.
we embraced curiosity and excitement?
Yes.
And what if instead of feeling stuck, we recognize that every single moment is a chance to create something new?
It's like we've been given this incredible toolbox,
We have.
but we've been afraid to use it.
Yes.
And now we're starting to understand the power of these tools. You
Right.
know, our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, our intentions,
It's true.
and how we can actually use them to shape our reality.
And they're not just for creating material wealth or success.
Right.
They're for crafting a life that is aligned with their soul's purpose, a
Mm.
life that's filled with joy and meaning and connection.
And isn't that what we all truly desire?
I think so.
To feel connected, to experience joy, to live a life that feels authentic and meaningful? Yeah. And what's so powerful about these teachings is that they remind us that we're not alone.
We're not.
On this journey, we have each other. We have the support of the universe.
Right.
And we have this incredible wisdom within us that's always guiding us.
That's always there.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I have a question for you listening.
Okay.
What is one thing that you're taking away from this conversation?
What resonated with
Yeah, what sparked your curiosity?
you? What inspired you to think differently,
Yeah.
to see things from a new perspective?
Maybe you're feeling called to explore those fears that have been holding you back, to reconnect with that sense of excitement and wonder that you felt as a child.
Yes.
Or to finally take those steps towards that dream that you've been putting off.
Yes.
Whatever it is, remember that you have the power to create the life you desire.
You do.
The universe is conspiring to support you.
Yes.
And the only thing standing in your way is your own self-doubt.
It's true.
So take a deep breath, trust in the process, and dare to believe in the impossible.
Because when you do, magic happens.
Magic happens.
It does.
And remember, the journey doesn't end here.
It doesn't.
It's a lifelong exploration
It is.
of self-discovery and growth and expansion.
Keep learning, keep growing, keep believing,
Yeah.
and keep creating the life of your dreams.
Until next time, keep diving deep